Alright, man.
Yeah,
Back again.
back once again with the Renegade Master.
Alright.
Yeah, welcome. It's nice to be back.
Yeah, dude. How'd you feel about that first episode, man?
I feel quite good about it, man.
Yeah.
To be totally honest, it's been nice to hear everyone's opinion.
Yeah.
I've been quite surprised of how many people have actually been listening.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
We've had people coming up in the street and they'd be like, "Yeah, man, listen to your podcast." I was like, "Cool, man."
That's pretty wild, eh?
Yeah, it felt good. I mean, considering it was just a complete off-the-cuff pilot,
Yeah.
you know? No plans, just straight to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, man. Alright, so for those first coming in or listen to the first episode here, if you didn't listen to the last one, we are Matthew and Adam. I'm Adam.
Matthew.
And we're the New Testament podcast, which we came up with kind of like after the first episode, name-wise.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
It's like, I was thinking about it. It works really well. I mean, like Adam and Matthew, biblical names.
Yeah, that's actually where it did come from, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
We're going to tell some, I think, some mysterious stories.
Yeah, we're going to start a new religion.
Yeah. A cult.
A cult.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. Well, true. And there'll be some fire and brimstone. There'll be some bullshit. There'll be some moral judgments.
There'll be some straight-ass, hard-talking shit.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Me too.
We're not actually. It's nice because we're not overly planned for this either. Because the way the last one went,
Yeah.
and I think it's better that we just go. I mean, the feedback that I've been hearing from anyone who's listening, if you're listening again, thank you. Is that they kind of felt like they were just having a coffee with us.
Which is perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like people. Obviously, it's people that know us. But I'm sure they learned something about us as well, and just like we went and we got a bit personal.
Yeah.
On the last one, which was nice. But
Yeah, as we will, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you've really got to say at the end of the day is what you know personally.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I mean, man?
Yeah. So on that note, man, how's the week been since our last episode? Have you been up to anything interesting or?
The week has been it's been quite interesting for me. Like finishing up in my old job after being there for so long. So that was interesting, but really nice open feeling. You know what I mean? Like nice to. Not that I want to see the back of that place at all, because I love it to death, but at the same time, just like, you know, the new, what's to come.
Yeah.
You know, so it's been actually like a bit of a turning point week for me.
Right on. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like new pastures and all. So yeah, I feel good, man.
Change is good, man.
Yeah, I haven't really been doing anything overly interesting. I've luckily had enough time to hang out with my daughter, which has been cool. She's got me under the thumb.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it keeps going. But chilling, man.
Nice.
Chilling, you know, like taking that last week, just chilling. This week chilling, and then ready for hard work to come.
Yeah.
What about yourself, man? What you been up to?
I just had a nice weekend, man. Yeah, me and my girlfriend went and saw a few movies. Their Love and Anarchy Film Festival is on at the moment here in Helsinki.
Yeah, that's such a cool thing. I've only been to a couple of movies over the years, but I like it. How long does it last?
I think it's 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, it must be 2 weeks or at least 10 days, but like...
Do you want to like elaborate on what it is, just in case there's people who don't know what Love and Anarchy Festival is?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know too much. I know it's the 31st one that's been hosted, which is kind of surprising, actually. Like, I didn't know it'd been running that long. But outside of that, I don't know too much about it, other than it's just a film festival. There's a lot of like directors and stuff that come through with the films that they've directed, or, you know, other people that are involved with the film and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Which is cool, because then you kind of, I guess it's like similar to most film festivals, but you watch the movie and then afterwards there can be someone talking. I know Spike Lee was here, which I only found out yesterday.
What?
Yeah, crazy.
What, on an Instagram post or something? Or did you see the dude?
No. Like when I was booking tickets, I saw that like the movie he's directed or had something to do with, I think he was speaking on a couple. but then it said on the program, like the guest was Spike Lee, but all of those ones are sold out.
Yeah,
as you can imagine. Yeah,
because it's crazy because it's like it's a real film festival happening all over Helsinki and all the classic theaters or cinemas or whatever, and it's all, you know, it's like the up and coming movies and documentaries and all of these things that haven't quite, like, you know, like not the blockbuster shit, but you know, like a classic film festival.
Yeah.
I remember, that's funny you say that because it just came to my mind that I think it was about 2 years ago when I was like quite heavy into the old Game of Thrones gig.
Oh, right on.
You know, I'd done like a proper fucking stoner marathon on that shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'd done a stoner marathon and then I stopped and then I went back and recapped with a clearer mind, thank God, so I could understand what was going on. But anyway, we had one of the guys, he's a Danish actor. He was in Game of Thrones. He was Theroy, someone's brother or something. You know, he was going to marry that queen one. See,
yeah, I got lost on the seasons, man. I
can't remember the names now. It's been a while. Yeah, I was stoned the second time round as well. So, but anyway, that actor, Danish actor guy, I wish I could pull up his name right now. But he had a big role in there. And anyway, he came through the bar. He was there. He won an award actually, and one of his movies was here for Love and Anarchy. And he came to the bar, and then I'd finished my shift, and we were hanging out. Sorry. And then we ended up going to karaoke bar. The guy was so sound, man.
Yeah, I was there with you.
Were you?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Shit, sorry, man. I thought I was, I didn't even remember who. I was just remembering the story, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, we hung out with him. We went to the karaoke bar. He was a nice guy, man.
He was, man.
He was so nice, so fun.
Full of energy, yeah.
Yeah, straight up. And, you know, he had the people wanting to take pictures of him and stuff, but he was like, with us, he was legit, you know? Like,
yeah.
We were having the White Russians and shit.
Yeah, well, I think because we went in, I don't know if it was after a shift or something, but we went in like with, you know, something and a bit of a party in mind, maybe. Because, and you could tell like when we got there and we were bringing some sort of energy that maybe doesn't exist in that place, because their place is pretty gash.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
He gravitated towards us. I think he was already with some people and then he just spent the rest of the night with us.
Yeah, that was so cool, man.
Yeah.
Greyjoy. He was one of the Greyjoy guys or something.
Yeah, I was lost on it because I was still.
You were a season behind on that.
I don't know how many seasons behind I am now. But... Like, I haven't read all the books. I've read a few of them, but yeah.
But that was cool, and he was here for that, and that's cool that Spike Lee was here, man.
Yeah,
the legend.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That's so dope.
I had the opportunity
to.
Yeah, so like I had the opportunity to see the cinematographer, I think, of the movie that I saw. The first one that I saw was an Estonian movie. It was called The Manslayer, The Virgin, The Shadow, and it was kind of this 3-part movie on, I guess, like the struggles of women throughout the history of Estonia, which was cool. Although, like, the first 2 parts of it were really cool, and you could tell that they were based on some sort of like folklore or some stories that had been passed along.
When you say 3 parts, do you mean they showed it in 3 parts? There was a break between each part, or? Yeah,
I mean, it was like not a like physical break, but yeah, there was like a title screen in between the episodes, to like signify, the beginning of like the next part of the film. So it sort of divided it into 3.
Okay.
But yeah, it was cool, but the 3rd part was kind of the director's interpretation of how he would tie the first 2 parts together, which I thought was completely unnecessary. I couldn't find enough information on it to like really value it, but when I was thinking about it, I don't know, it seemed a little bit like unnecessary, a little bit maybe like masturbation for the director. Like it did, Was it like, so the first part was the first part, the second part was the third part, and the third part was just him trying to fucking make sure everyone understood like the middle part or something? No, it was like the first part was based on, I think he said like a story he was told. The second part was based on like a folklore story or vice versa. I can't remember which way around they were. And then for some odd reason, I'm sure he has a better reason than I found, but he wanted to tie those in with the 3rd part, which to me was completely unnecessary because those first 2 parts stood on their own, like really well. So I don't necessarily know why. Like, it was there, but it just didn't really fit. But visually, it was really good. It did win some awards.
Where did you see it? Where was it you went to see it in Hillside?
That one was at Ingal,
Okay.
like Kinos Ingal, yeah, which
Yeah.
was like, I don't know.
That's like
it's
the
pretty
old school
small.
small cinema place next to Senathantori, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You need to get good seats there. I feel like
Yeah.
it's not that great.
Did they do like a question and answer thing at the end?
Yeah, so the cinematographer was there, and I think it would have been pretty interesting. The only problem with that is like I've sat through those before as well, like these, and some of them have been really good, but when I think the movie was about 2 hours 20 minutes.
Okay, quite heavy.
Yeah. And it's like atmospheric and it's like not exactly fast paced. And then you've got someone who, and at least in my experience, whenever those people were there, they want to talk for like an hour, which
Yeah.
I get. Like if people are there talking to them, fair enough. But at the same time, then it becomes this massive thing where if you're already a little bit like sleepy or you're hungry or need to take a leak, then like,
Fuck this.
yeah. So I've done some interesting ones before, but then later that night we went and saw a movie from one of my favorite directors, Gus Van Sant, who directed, probably most people would probably know him for either Elephant or what was it? The one written by Matt Damon and what's his name?
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, he was the director of Good Will Hunting as well. Yeah, but he I think his latest movie was Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot, and it was a movie about a comic book, well, not a comic book drawer, but like a comic out of like newspaper articles, comic strip.
Yeah, comic strip artist.
Yeah.
Okay.
A guy who was an alcoholic, I guess, got in an accident, and then becomes this famous comic strip
Wow.
writer, drawer.
What was the name of that one?
Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds cool, man.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good storytelling. Like it didn't play too much into the sob story of like, because it was quite like in a way a sad story, and it could really have been directed on the sense of like, you know, how depressing his life was and all these kind of things in his hard times. But it had a lot of kind of dark humor, and it was fun. Like there was no lulls where you kind of got bored or, it was good. I liked it.
Because I mean, like, I'm pretty sure that I don't want to say this wrong because I'm going to get shot in the head for this, but Tove Jansson,
Yeah.
the woman who wrote The Moomins,
Yeah.
like she done a lot of she done all these short story script things in the newspapers as well.
Right, okay. I don't know much about her.
yeah.
Also, I don't know how to pronounce her name either, but you're close.
Jansson, I'm hoping it's right.
Yeah,
whatever.
Tove is her first
Tove.
name?
Yeah,
Tove.
Tove.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not.
She's a very interesting person, and maybe when we're a bit more clued up with that, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But I know she done like, you know, she wrote her stories and stuff like that, and but she done those sort of captions in the paper and stuff, which was helped like elevate what was going on. And the interesting about the Moomins and stuff, not to go too deep again, because I'm not that sure about it, but you know, like that was like a cartoon with real like background stuff going on. You know, there's a little gay guy in it. If you know, it's disguised nicely by the Japanese who animated the new ones anyway.
Really?
Yeah, but there's so much like real life shit going on in that. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that a wee bit more because I know it's the pride of Finland. Definitely, the Moomins is something that's so cool and it is interesting. But I know it wasn't wrote specifically for kids. Do you know what I mean? I think there is a gay one there, and like, you know, how he deals with his situations there. And once you know all these things, these deeper meanings, it makes a lot more sense. But yeah,
Right on.
But that's cool, man. I think like I've been to a couple of the Love and Anarchy things.
Yeah.
To the movies. I can't remember what one. One was called. It was about the Australian girl who travelled across the outback.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. I keep wanting to say like Steps or something, but it was called something.
Shit, I've seen it as well.
Yeah,
I've totally
it's tough.
forgotten about.
Sorry, guys, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, decent, like really good story.
Yeah,
and a
it's interesting.
decent-ish movie. Like,
Yeah,
it
the movie
wasn't a
because
bad
she met
movie.
like a National Geographic photographer who kind of started to like follow what she was doing.
Yeah,
I mean, the movie was kind of empty, really, because at the end of the day, she was traveling across the desert on a bloody camel or something.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So,
yeah, sure.
come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anything else that's been going through your head? Anything interesting you've been reading, or how you been feeling? How do you feel about the podcast? How have you been, like?
Yeah.
Just to jump in, sorry, quickly.
No, sure. Good, man. Really good. Like, I've been thinking about doing this for a long time. I listen to a lot of podcasts and have done for years, man. So, and we've talked about it a long time, and it just feels good to actually do it. Like,
It does.
There's a few things to learn and all that, but that's the fun of it. And it feels relaxed, feels good, feels like there's no pressure yet. Cheers, man. Yeah, until we start getting people on our ass and hassling us about dumb shit we've said, but and that's still going to be, that's going to be funny to approach as well. And I think it's weird when you can start to get into a conversation where you start to get held accountable for what you say.
Yeah.
Because I think for like a lot of us, we sit, we have a small group of friends or we've got a partner, and because of those people are our friends, and because, like, you've hopefully found a partner that can somewhat resonate with you, you kind of end up in this echo chamber where, for the most part, people agree with you.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
I mean, like, people probably...
You sort of... You drift into crowds of same beliefs, but it's always good to have that fucking crazy person that's a bit different as well, because,
sure.
that keeps it fresh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you don't want everybody just to agree with you all the time. Like, you would get bored on that. But what I'm saying is, like, I think, like, a lot of people's friends and partners and stuff will probably agree with somewhere, 70-80% of what they say, and that's why you get along.
Yeah.
But then you end up kind of in a chamber where it's like, I mean, you could be pretty crazy and surrounded by a few other crazy people, but because you have that circle, it's like, you think everything, that's the norm. I think it's interesting to have this kind of accountability of other people listening to you, and then, you do think maybe a little bit about what you say a bit more, and also just the chance that if someone was to challenge you on something that you say, that you now have to, like, answer to that, or choose not to, or tell them to go fuck themselves, or whatever you want to do, but it's like,
exactly.
just to have that, which is different to, if we were having this conversation without mics on, not saying it would be, like, really different, but...
It probably wouldn't be that different.
I don't think it would be very different at all, but the possibility of then, let's say in theory we've got 10,000 people listening.
Yeah.
That 8,000 of those people might be like, you guys are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
For something that we said. It's going to happen, dude. Yeah.
Probably, man.
I don't think, I mean, maybe the 10,000 people will think what happened, but we'd definitely be called fucking idiots at some point. Yeah.
Of course, man. That's a compliment. But I think, like, that's funny for me as well, because there's been a few things that I did say in the last one, and a few people, I think it was majority of friends of us that were listening to that one, and a few people did say to me, like, I want to know more about this, and are your facts right about this and stuff like that, and I was like, no. Like,
let's face it, man. If facts are coming up
facts, here. If you do feel like you really want to know more about what we've been saying, and you actually want to know the facts, leave us a comment.
Yeah.
And then we will find out for you. I'll definitely find out for you as much as I can, or fucking Google that shit, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But you know what I mean? Like, I'd be more interested to go into it, and remembering that was our first gig, and it was a very free flow conversation that we had. So the numbers aren't right, and the stories are true, but the numbers aren't always right. And if you are really interested in that, leave us a comment, please, because I would love to go into that a bit more, and I would like to learn about it a wee bit more as well. So yeah, don't be scared, man. You don't have to text me saying, yo, your number was wrong on that one, bro. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
We can just safely say at this point, don't take any around. Unless we're saying, hey, I looked this up. Don't. We're going to try to not make too many bold statements that are going to ruin people's lives.
We're skimming the surface of conversation, man.
Yeah, we're going off the dome on
Don't
this.
start, like, preaching what we say, because you'll be dead soon, man, if you follow that shit.
We're a couple of dudes talking shit. We're not researchers.
Exactly.
We will talk like we're researchers.
Yeah. But once we hit 1 million listeners, then we'll hire a researcher.
Yeah.
Check that out. Let's push that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're on the lookout for a fact checker.
Researcher
Yeah.
who can get us 100 million views, man. We'd be like, hey, you get paid once we get to the millions, bro.
Dude.
Or
It's only fair.
fam,
Yeah, an intern.
intern, yeah, teach you that shit. But hey, have you heard anything interesting? I know we kind of spoke about maybe talking about like celebrity encounters in the music.
Yeah,
Because we're both so like deep music wise. We love music so much.
Yeah.
It's like a massive part of my life. Yeah, like what have you been listening to, man? What sort of music have you been listening? I know you hit that up like all the time. You're always looking for the next thing. And
I need it, man.
yeah. Because for me, I'm like a zone in kind of motherfucker.
Yeah, right.
Like I find what I like, and then I get deep.
Yeah.
I get real deep, man.
Yeah.
But you get into it the same way, I think. But at the same time, like you're always looking for the next, whereas I just find and stop and dive down. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
What have you been listening to recently?
Well, autumn's hit over here, and that generally means I get into heavy shit, man. Like I go back to the heavy stuff. I kind of check in with it.
You get back to your shredding days, man.
These days not so. Like I'm not guitar heavy. Like
Evanescence.
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, man. Throwing it back to when I was 15. No, like I grew up listening to a lot of heavy music, a lot of metal, quite a lot of grunge, that kind of stuff. But that genre is such a weird genre, like the metal genre, because it's very stuck in its way.
Like Finland, and that's the genre of Finland.
That's true. Yeah,
That's interesting, isn't it?
that is true. Yeah, like Doom.
We're famous. A lot of people around, people who think of Finland, they think of that shit, don't they?
Yeah, for sure. Like Doom and this really bleak heavy metal stuff. But yeah, the genre is just, I guess it's like hip hop in a way as well. I mean, hip hop's changed a bit now because the new like
I
pop
would say
stuff
it's changed a lot.
a lot. Yeah. So, I mean, you have these like, it's no longer about being, part of it is no longer about being a good MC. Like you have these off splits like trap and all that kind of stuff and mumble rap and stuff.
Yeah.
Heavy metal, of course, like has its subgenres as well, but the core heavy metal scenes, they're very strict, and if you do anything outside that, you're kind of like you're a bit of a black sheep, or like you're not really. I feel like a black sheep would be
So
a
it's quite
compliment in the metal
close-
scene, but like
But it's
yeah.
quite close-minded, I guess.
Yeah, you
Is
could say,
it?
yeah, I would say that. And it's just, I mean, it's like they're very passionate about what makes that genre is genre. So for that's the better or worse, but that means that the genre doesn't seem to grow as fast as maybe something else, which is, say like jazz fusion, which is all about progression and about doing
Yeah.
something different and
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Whereas like metal's kind of about like being metal. And
Yeah.
don't fuck with it, So
Yeah.
it grows slowly. So yeah,
It's more
usually
about how fast can you play and how, like
yeah, depending on the genre for sure.
How can you scream harder, man?
Yeah. So yeah, for me it's like
That's a guy who knows fuck all about that.
sounds-
Saying that, so
sounds
that's
close
so
to
cliche, man.
sounds close to the metal that I listen to, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, these days I've kind of recently discovered this year that I'm more into the idea of sound than I really am into the idea of music, or equally, I would say.
And what we elaborate on that?
Yeah, so every time autumn comes around, I tend to kind of check in on metal. I think it's just like the winter's coming, the summer's gone, and that vibe kind of changes, and I go back into something that's a little bit heavier and a little bit darker, and it's really inspirational for me. So I've been really getting into Doom, well, not getting into Doom, but back into it and just checking back in.
Yeah, I guess it's more like put it to seasons or anything like that. But I mean, you're having this great day in the park, drinking some beers, man, and just like that sunny vibe, and you're like, yo, fucking down, wow.
Yeah.
That's not like summer vibe shit
it's
going
a
on
bit
there.
weird,
That's
yeah.
proper winter ass motherfucking shit.
Right. Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, because I've never really got into it. I mean, as I say, like, I would love to say that I have this broad mind of music because I appreciate music so much and it means so much to me, man, for real. Like, it always has. But I'm kind of like pigeonhole minded and on that shit. So like, you know, I find what I like and I just dig it for a long time, and then I run it out until I find the next one I like, and then I stick to it for a long time. And it's
Yeah.
weird, and I wish I wasn't that way. Like you said, trap music earlier. Funnily enough, I went to the gym for the first time in months the other day. Still fucking feeling the burn. And I looked up workout music on YouTube because my baby's mother, we share the Spotify account, and she changed it over to her stuff, and I was like, okay, so YouTube it is.
Yeah.
And I just wrote workout music, I wasn't thinking, and it came up this trap playlist, and I was like, damn, this is the shit.
Yeah, dude.
I was digging it.
Yeah.
I was on that shit, man. It was
Right.
like, not just for workout, but afterwards. Today I was cleaning the house, I was like, let's get some of that trap shit going on. I had the Hoover out, like,
Yeah, yeah.
man, that floor
get
is clean
dirty,
as a
man.
motherfucker,
Yeah.
man. It's like, down,
Now I'm just imagining you, like-
I was like, fucking,
Now I'm just imagining you like Mrs. Doubtfire style.
yeah, with a trap on,
Yeah.
hitting that shit. But yeah, I opened the blinds and everything so they could see me. They probably, from afar, from the block across from me, they were like probably thinking I was listening to Freddie Mercury or something, or Queen. Hey, the new movie coming out, Freddie Mercury,
Oh,
Bohemian
yeah.
Rhapsody. Have
True.
you seen the trailer to that?
I think I did a long time ago now.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm super keen on that. It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, I'm super keen on it, but I was more keen when I knew it was Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I was so into that.
yeah.
I knew he would have nailed it because he's amazing. Like
Awesome
the way he nails
character,
character.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing. The way he gets into character.
Yeah.
And I think he would have been, just even looks wise, I think he would have been amazing Freddie Mercury. But like, I read that it was just that they didn't, he wanted it to be the truth. You know, he wanted, well, his truth or what he believed or what, you know, he wanted to go more into the personal life of Freddie Mercury and not into the Queen
Okay.
life.
Yeah, sure.
Whereas they weren't happy with that, and that's why it ended.
Okay, so
They did
who's
start production.
and who's doing it now? Do you know?
I'm not 100% sure what the guy's name is,
Yeah. Is he? Is he
but I
like
think he
a
can sing like a fucking motherfucker. I think he can sing. I think he's got that Freddie Mercury stuff.
I wonder if it's There was at least a guy from New Zealand who looked like Freddie Mercury and could sing like Freddie Mercury.
Is it legal for me to Google it right now?
Oh, do it, man. Yeah, yeah. I'd be curious on just who the guy is,
Yeah. Because, yeah.
but yeah,
So yeah, I don't know. Let's find out who it is,
yeah. You check it out.
just for interest.
But yeah, I mean, on the music note, man, like, well, exactly what you did. Like, I'm a firm believer that there's a music for kind of every situation. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like a soundtrack, and that's how I sort of use it. So, like what you're saying, you don't want to sit in a park in the summer and listen to a whole bunch of like heavy music because it's kind of, you know, doesn't really fit the scene. And like what you did, like going to the gym. Even just doing a YouTube on, you know, gym music and found this genre and you found this thing that like suited perfectly.
Exactly.
That's kind of where I roll. Like, and when every day is different for me, you know, you wake up in slightly different moods or.
Rami Malek. His name is.
Rami Malek.
Just to jump back on.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
you should watch it.
don't
I
recognize
don't
him. from
recognise him
anything.
either. I wish it was Cohen, but I'll give this guy's his time. It would have been so much more crazier if it was him.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you were saying, like, yeah, I'm starting to do that a wee bit more, like, just trying to find something else, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm more open to it because I realise how much I'm putting myself in the same box and it's not interesting, you know?
What do you feel like limits you? How would I phrase this right? Like, do you find that it's just consistently stuff you don't like about the music, or are you not giving yourself the time to kind of understand like what is good about it? Or I mean, obviously, if the answer is just like I just don't like stuff outside of what I know, then it's
No,
that's fair enough.
That's definitely not the answer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good question because I think it could be just that I'm so impatient,
Right.
you know? Like, if I want to hear something, I have to hear it now.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not a massive Spotify guy. Like, I like Spotify, but I don't like make my own playlists, and I don't like listen to that daily mix stuff that's going on that often. And when I have, I've enjoyed it, and it's been cool. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know why I'm like that. I've just always been like that. When I find something, that's kind of why I've changed. You know, I was massive into hip hop when I was young. I used to dress with all the velour trackies. You know, I used to be an MC. Then when I fell out with hip hop, when it started to get a bit crappy in my eyes, then I got really into rock and roll, or like into the Strokes and Libertines. I went through my leather jacket stuff and getting, you know, being totally fucking wasted was cool and not giving a fuck about anything kind of gig.
Yeah.
I done that, and then when I got bored of that, then I got really into folk music and really into, like, massively into Bob Dylan, and that is a long hole. That's a deep fucking hole, man.
Yeah, it goes
Once you
back.
get in that one, you're deep. It's like if you get into the Beatles, you get seriously deep into that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I got heavy into that. I think I'm one of these people when I find, as I said, when I find something I like, I get all in.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just like mental like that. I don't know why it is. I really don't know why it is. But I think that kind of limits me to what I listen to, if you know what I mean. It limits me because I'm so... I find something I like and I'll just listen to it out until I get bored with it.
Yeah. Do you then find that you can't sometimes find the right music for the right moods? Like, oh, let's say, like, what would you listen to at the gym before you YouTubed gym music, gym playlist? You know, because, like, I mean, are you checking on Bob Dylan while you're doing chest reps? Like, I just don't see it working, you know?
No. Actually, normally when I go to the gym, and to clarify that, I'm also a binge gymmer as well. So I'll go 7 days a week, 1 week, and not go for 2 months. And then I'll go 7 crazy hard. Then I won't go again. You know, like, I'm just impulsive like that.
Yeah.
But normally I wouldn't listen to music because I would kind of concentrate on what I was doing.
Right.
I think I watched this thing a while ago when I hadn't really ever been to the gym until I moved to Finland. It was just like a hobby. It was something to do. But I watched a quick clip about Arnold Schwarzenegger, talking about how when you're working out you should focus on the muscles that you're working on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's technique is all bad and whatever. I mean, luckily I still had bad technique until I done my girlfriend last Christmas. She bought me like some personal training things, and then I learned how to do it. And now I'm confident when I'm there. But before I was just kind of looking at what somebody was doing and then doing it, which is not the way to learn because they could be doing it absolute shit. Well, they were.
Yeah.
But now, when I watched that YouTube thing, I just learned that, like, okay, you have to concentrate on the muscle you're working on. And all this. So I prefer to do it. Even when I'm on the treadmill, it's like this. It's almost like a meditation for me. I don't like listening to music so much. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I do, but I like to I'll stare at myself in the window in front of the thing, and I'll just be like thinking about like things I have to do, trying to get into, because you know, running on a treadmill is fucking boring, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but if you start thinking about it as in like a mental challenge, you know, that's when you can start to get the best out of yourself. And I went through a lot of things in my head when I do that, and you know, the only thing I can see is my reflection.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, I'm not thinking about anything else that's going on. But yeah, so but now it's nice to have that trap shit going on. I'm like, damn, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm a beast, man.
Yeah. I can definitely pump you up, man. I think also, like, I do sort of the same as well. Like, I'll have a mix of music to, like, get me started and get me, like, energized. But then at some point I tend to, like, switch off the music and just get into, like, meditative.
In the zone.
Yeah. And really, like, just go through mentally, I guess, some sort of, like, meditation to, like, keep me going and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a great time to digest podcasts too. Like having a podcast on, like an hour-long session at the gym, find an hour-long podcast or something. And that's pretty good.
But this, as we said, no, this one, like, I've only been listening to you've been trying to get me on that for so long, and I've only really started in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah,
listening to podcasts, and I mean, it has changed a lot of things. Like, I can lie in my bed and listen to a podcast and be totally chilled, you know? Because before I was, like, always watching all these, like, serial killer documentaries and just fucking garbage, you know? Like, not garbage, but, you know, like, not your mind's too active, and you also have to watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So like, I don't think it was helping me in any way in sleep. But now listening to podcasts, it's like you can kind of chill and drift. You know?
Yeah. I think also, yeah, like turning off a screen, especially at nighttime, man, for me.
All that fucking
like,
shit in your eyes, bro.
Yeah. Man, for me, like turning off screens at nighttime is like, I'm way too addicted to that shit. And I work on it like all day as well. And then, you know, like that's where I get a lot of my leisure and stuff like that too. And, yeah, I don't know, turning off a screen and putting a podcast on my headphones or whatever. And like, I'll fall asleep to it, man. Like, and it's good.
It's cool.
Like, I would recommend it to anybody who falls asleep with their laptop or their TV on. Like,
hey, man, I think not to like, well, totally change the subject, which I'm gonna do.
Do it. Yeah.
We got that. We got the main homeboy coming to Helsinki this week.
Oh, yeah, he is too.
We got that fucking Obamacare shit happening
Yeah.
down.
Barack Obama coming to Finland.
The man.
Yeah. Did you watch him on Letterman? It's Letterman's new Netflix thing.
But I've watched the
My Next Guest.
Yeah.
With David Letterman
I
on
haven't
Netflix.
seen it. I wanna.
Good,
I
man.
love him. I think the way he comes across as a humanitarian man.
Right.
He has a big heart, and I don't think he's into that corrupt shit.
Yeah. Well,
I feel like you can see through him. You know what I mean? I think he's like probably one of the well, again, don't quote me on this, but one of the most honest presidents or leaders of a country that I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know, like I think I don't know what's going on in the background, and I know that being in that situation is all about the people that are around you. Can you pass me that history, bro?
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like he's a legit guy, and I love when he talks, man, because I think he talks the shit. I think he talks real.
Yeah.
He never sounds like he's bullshitting. He never sounds like he's trying to make people that bad, which is a good skill if you're in a campaign election thing, election campaign. You know, he's not a poison-minded man. He's not attacking. He's just saying the points.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's very interesting. Him and his wife, I think, are total, like, real, honest people. And I think it might take us 60 years before we look back and say, wow, you know, we were lucky to have them. Because I know, like, sorry to go on a wee bit there, but, like, I know that a lot of people kind of feel like you never done anything in America. We don't live in America. We don't. So, this is just like what we see from the outside, guys. So it's not like our political opinion. But on a personal level, I think he seems like a legit guy.
It seems like a super reasonable dude. It's hard to say. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of people with like big opinions, but the reality is we don't really know like what is even possible for those people to do. Everybody knows at this point that the president isn't really the say-all guy at the end of the day, because you know there's Congress and all these other people that have a decision on what goes on as well. But and that's the fall guy. That's the guy that you know the name of and see the face of. So it's obviously it's nice to have one figurehead.
It's the fall guy, but it's also like the most powerful fucking guy ever. It's like
yeah. But
he takes the brunt. But I mean, he's. I mean, it's not like he just says what he says, because if that was the case, we would be fucked.
Yeah, sure. It's interesting to think also that he's kind of, well, at least to us, like I'd say we're both, I don't want to put like political agendas on both of us, but I'd say we're both pretty left-leaning, you know what I mean? Or like liberal people. I mean...
humanitarians, bro.
At least for me, I don't give a fuck what other people are doing. If you're not harming anybody else in the process, just do whatever you want to do. Like, I don't even think I care about the politics enough to say which side I'm on. I'm just like, I'm on the side of just don't be a cunt.
I don't know enough to say. That's
yeah.
my issue. Like, I don't feel like I know enough about it to actually have an opinion about it, and that's up to me.
Anyways, what I was getting at with this is he's kind of the only likable president we've had in our lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean, we're both... we're both roughly 30. You're 33, yeah, and I'm just about to hit 30. So, and we got a question on that actually in a moment, which I'll bring up. But
you're just about to hit 30.
Yeah.
Oh shit, bro.
In 2 weeks or something, 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah.
Man.
But anyways, like because on that, like, I mean, we pretty much, I mean, once we were old enough to know, we had George Bush, basically. Was he the first president you really thought about? He
Bill
was
Clinton
definitely
was the first American president
that you had in your life.
that I can remember being like.
Right.
He's the first one that I remember being the president
Yeah.
of America, and in the UK, I guess it was vaguely Maggie Thatcher, John Major, and then Tony Blair, kind of through that time.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't know, what was it like in New Zealand? Because for me, my dad, I remember the time when my dad, we used to drink in the park when we were young kids. We had this place called the Park Bar.
Yeah.
That's what we called it.
It was just
It was
a
a
bench.
bridge. It was a bridge.
Yeah, sure.
It was a cycle path and a bridge.
But
So you could see the police coming from both ends.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
you knew, like, it was a safety place, and we were away from houses and stuff. They later built houses towards it, and the complaints came in. But it was a safe place. It was a place where, we weren't annoying anyone, and we would have like 30, 40 deep people of all ages up to 25 from 12.
Yeah.
Drinking our buckfast, smoking our weed, and doing all that other funny stuff. But I remember my dad actually fucking I was looking down the path. Me and my bro were there. I don't know if my bro was there. Well, he was there, but he wasn't 18 and eligible to vote at the time. It was 18 to vote.
Right, okay.
And he came up, and I was like, "What the fuck is my dad coming here for?"
Yeah.
We're all like, I mean, that was fine with him. And he said, "Right, time to vote, bro." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're coming to vote now." And I said, I don't have a clue about voting." And he said, "Well, if you don't vote, you ain't got an opinion, man." He came and got me, took me there. I done my vote, and then that was
But
it.
you're older.
He came and got me.
You're older than your brother, yeah?
Yeah.
Why did I always think that your brother was
My
older?
brother's probably because he's more older acting
Okay,
than I am.
sure.
I don't know. No, he's 2 years younger than me, my bro.
Right, yeah, okay.
But yeah, I respect my dad for doing that, like big time. I really do, because he had the point. He just was like, you have to vote,
Yeah.
because a lot of people don't have the opportunity to votes and all these things. And it was only when I got a bit older I kind of realised that actually from that point that it was important that I said something. I never went into crazy politics after that or anything, but I was glad that he'd done that. And you don't have a say unless you vote, really.
Yeah.
If you don't vote, then you can have an opinion, but you never tried to make the change.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
How was it in New Zealand?
I think that's the most common opinion of most people, right? Like, yeah, if you don't vote, then you don't really have a valid opinion, or opinion that's kind of justified when you make the effort to vote. But for me, I've never voted, and I probably never will.
Mm-hmm. Is that because politics are kind of easy in New Zealand, and you just don't feel like are you talking about New Zealand, or because you can vote here, can't you? I can vote here.
I think I can vote here.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe I can't. I think I can vote in local election, but I can't vote like a national election, if that makes sense. Yeah, like I can vote for like council or whatever.
But do you choose not to vote just because you don't want to get caught up in the politics yet, or you don't feel like you know enough, or?
I don't know enough, and here's like, I actually wrote out this kind of statement that I was going to post somewhere a couple of years ago, and I decided not to, because I was like, at the end of the day, this is kind of just, it's a little bit inflammatory, but I'm going to say it here, because fuck it. Because I do think it's an important, and I could be completely wrong. This is just what's in my head, and this is what I was thinking about at the time. So I'll try to keep this somewhat short. But in New Zealand, I probably should have voted, put it that way. I knew enough in that country to, I think, have an informed vote. And I was passionate about politics back then. I did a lot of stuff when I was younger, like activist-wise, which I think was making a difference, or at least trying to. And I devoted like a lot of time and like mental energy to it when I was younger.
Yeah.
Here in Finland, I'll be straight up about it. I don't know the name of a single politician. I found out last year that Finland has a prime minister and a president.
Yeah.
I thought they had one or the other, and then someone was like, "No, we have both."
Thing.
Yeah. So, and by saying that, I mean, I'm trying to be honest about like.
I don't know shit about that shit either, man.
Yeah, like I'm trying to be honest about my ignorance on it, and by saying that, like, that's on me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really tend to read media anymore.
Because you can't read it.
I mean, you miss out on a lot with the language barrier, but at the same
you do.
time, it's like I don't think I'm really at a point in my life where I'm willing to be active in making a difference.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
I'm surprised by that, man, because I know that like you're quite strong-minded when it comes to your beliefs. Well, not strong-minded that you force it on people, but I know that you're like, I've known you for long enough to know that you're quite straight about the way you think about things, and and you know, you don't go, yeah, you're not one of these kind of guys. You know, you're like, nah, you're a bit more straight talking and a bit more, you know, your beliefs are kind of strong in you. You know, that's how I feel about you.
I agree with you.
You're quite a strong like personality in that way, that you don't fuck with, you don't just ride the wave on that shit. You know what I mean? You normally, if you disagree with something, then you don't have a problem saying it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%. And you're not the first person to tell me that. And I recognize that as well.
Yeah,
so I don't think it's
that's
unfair.
a good quality,
but like,
man.
yeah, it can be. It gets you in a lot of shit too. If you're the one guy that's speaking up, it's like, I mean, like, not that I'm putting myself on that level, but you're the president. You're the guy who's speaking up, and like, you're the guy who takes the shit. I've done it plenty of times in my life when I've spoken up for, like, let's say the staff of, like, I've spoken up for, you know, the staff of a place where there was like 25 of us, and I was the guy speaking up when, you know, in the staff rooms and everything else, everybody was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm the guy who speaks up. I'm the guy who gets the shit for it. I'm the guy who gets disliked by management or whoever. If I'm on management, then by the staff.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, it's there's responsibility in that, and I don't want to lose that. I think it's important to have those people, because obviously those people have well, they've also done some terrible things, but also they're the people who might make changes if they're like, you know, they have a good heart. But like, anyways, where should we go? I'll try to get back on track here. So what I wouldn't say about voting here is that I don't know enough. Part of that is because honestly, I'm a bit jaded at the moment, and I'm looking at like reclaiming that now. But I put in so much effort to these things when I was younger, and nobody really gives a fuck, man. People are willing. I'll tell you what they're willing to do, if they happen to have free time, and like, you know, let's say there's a rally on Sunday, and the weather's good. They're not hungover. They got nothing else to do. And there's the lure of maybe putting some shit on social media, because let's face it, I would like to see the numbers of people who are showing up to rallies before they could fucking publicly post about it.
Yeah.
They're willing to hold up a sign for a day. And then the next day, 98% of those people are like, I did my bit.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm just a little bit jaded. I think I saw a lot of like people that were willing to do this half-ass effort, but when I was kind of like looking to go that next step, like, let's not fucking, you know, put this down. Let's keep pushing this. Most people were like, you know, you can't make a change or whatever. And I'm like,
but it is good that everyone gets together with that. Like, I mean, I think the main point of them things, are, like the rallies and stuff, is like we all agree on the same thing, so we can turn up and do that. And I do agree that like a lot of the time it's kind of falls on deaf ears, and like I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who are in politics or leaders. They're like, okay, so the fucking 15,000 people rallied for the gays, so
that's my point. Right? Yeah. You hit the nail on the head.
They done it, but.
That
doesn't change how we feel and how we are. But that is also a very like complicated thing, because excuse me, I think like it's like, as a leader, I guess you're put in a position, because you're voted there by the people, so you're put in a position where almost like your opinions are the law.
Well, they are.
Do you know what I mean?
If they were voted
that's
in
kind
by
of touchy. That's kind of crazy shit, man. Really,
it's a weird system.
Especially when, you know, because if you've got a good campaign, you can win people over and then just change their mind.
Well, yeah.
Or if you know, like, I don't want to go into Hitler and shit, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a good leader, people will follow you, and then you can start to like.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
That's weird. I remember. Sorry, cutting there. But I remember when, and I'm sure you remember this as well. There was the tractor rally, and there was like, I don't know. I'm gonna make this number up. Don't quote me on this.
Yeah.
Let's Google it, bro. Ask me if you want me to check, but I'm sure there was about 500, 600 tractors
Yeah.
in Helsinki
driving through the center.
through, and it was the tractors standing up for like, you know, we're not getting paid enough for our fucking milk or our shit that we're fucking farming.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then after that was the gay one, you know, the Pride, and then there was also the immigration one, which was really well put together at quite a last minute, but kind of against, because I think. I don't know if it was. I don't know why it was made at that point. I think it was when there was a lot of like problems with people leaving the countries, and immigration was getting really heavy. When they had all them problems at Calais. You remember they had that immigration camp. People coming to France trying to get into the UK and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think it was when that was happening quite heavily. I'm not 100% sure, but I remember that rally, and it was such. I mean, I think there was. Again, don't quote me, but I think there was about 10,000.
Yeah. There's been some big
I think it
ones
was
here.
more than that, but
Yeah.
I'm going to say 10 because I don't want to say too crazy stuff. But
Yeah.
that was all happened in the space of like 2 months.
Yeah.
Then there was the nurses not getting paid rally. That was in the same time
Okay.
because nurses aren't getting paid properly, or they haven't had a pay rise in like 10 years or something like that. And you know, it's funny because. It's so nice when people take a stance to that stuff, but you know, like you do wonder how much of a difference is that actually making? Is that just that one day when everyone gets together? How much does it matter to the people who are sitting on the high chair there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
You know,
dude,
is that relevant?
that perfectly nails up like kind of what I was going to get to as well, and what I agree with is that in no way do I think it's important that people shut up and don't share
Nah,
their
we
opinion.
have to keep fucking rioting, motherfuckers.
Keep fucking doing it. I mean, like, I'll say this, like, I think it's super important, and I think it's super important that the people who care about it stay focused on it and make a change.
Yeah.
And it's specific, like, get specific about what you care about and go out and make a change. If anything, care about less, but care about the things that you really care about. Do it passionately. Figure out ways you can make a difference, and go and make those differences.
Yeah, don't just let it slip.
No,
You know what I mean? Stick by it and keep moving forward.
but what I feel like what I see a lot of, and I'll go back to what like kind of what you were saying as well, is that most people are in it for the day. There are people who kind of care about. You can ask them any questions like. Do you think world hunger is a bad thing? Yes. Do you think poverty, in the US is a bad thing? And they'll say yes. And then do you think climate change is a problem? Yes. And they kind of just like, of course, they agree with all of these issues and that they're issues, but they're also vague in concept.
Yeah.
They are hard to get a grasp on if you don't focus and go ahead and put attention to one of those things and try to like literally go and make a difference rather than just saying like. I think it's very easy to feel like. Well, I care, so I'm making a difference.
I'll give you a question, and I hope I know you'll answer honestly. Do you recycle?
Yeah.
Are you like a proper straight up paper, bottles, food waste, all that shit going on?
I'm pretty. I would say I'm like if 100% is real, like everything.
Do you
probably
feel
about,
okay with everything you do when it comes to recycling?
Yeah.
And do you think that Finland makes it quite well available and how they do things?
Extremely well available.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's insane. Yeah, compared to anywhere else I've been, it's crazy.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, in the UK, like, my parents, they have the recycle bin in their house and they have the normal bin. And and you can put in that recycle bin cardboard, bottle, plastic, tin, glass, everything, and they put it all in the same bin and then it gets separated after.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. I think and it gets picked up every fortnight.
Yeah.
Here it's more because, well, in Helsinki, because we all live in them small buildings that we were talking about before and stuff, normally the houses have all the different recycle bins right outside your door, so it is easy like that. I mean, I think it's great, and the same with I don't know if we talked about it before, but how you can get your money back from the plastic bottles and the beer cans and stuff.
Sure.
Did we talk about that the last time?
No, but I want to go back on the politics thing a little bit.
Okay,
And
sure.
I don't want to go like too deep into it because I know it's like, I mean, it's over both of our heads realistically. It's kind of over everybody's fucking head because it's such a massive topic. But
True.
what I want to say is that, and I want to go back to why I don't vote because I think I left that statement. I haven't answered that question yet, and I just fucking threw that out that I've never voted. And everybody, if they're listening and they're passionate about politics, I'm going to get fucking roasted here. And I feel like I need to, like, justify that.
Roast them, man.
Yeah, right. Fucking
Please.
Roast me. Change my fucking opinion.
Yeah,
please do.
Question his views, man.
Change my opinion, because I would like to feel compelled to vote, because at the moment I feel jaded towards it. But I'll tell you two things. Quickly on the protesting, I think I put myself in the mindset of a politician. And let's say I'm a politician and I go, I don't think gay people should be able to be married. And then when someone says to me, well, 20,000 people are going to go into a park this Saturday. And then I'm going to go, I'll see you fucking Monday for signing the bill against gay marriage.
Yeah.
How am I going to give a fuck? 20,000 people held up a sign and some girl with dreadlocks shouted into a megaphone. I could fucking care less. Now, if those 20,000 people...
You hate them dreadlocks, don't you, bro?
Yeah. Well,
sorry.
If you're white with dreadlocks, sort your fucking life out.
We said that.
There's a soundbite for you.
Yeah.
No, but like, you know, I'm just trying to put myself in their shoes, and I think there should be accountability for politicians. I think there should be all that kind of stuff, but we're not doing all we can. And I'm not saying go get violent. I'm not saying set cars on fire, but I think there are very like effective ways of protesting, and they just take a little bit of leadership, a little bit of organization. And I think you can create a lot more accountability rather than holding up a sign that says gays should have equal rights on it. Because to someone who doesn't agree with you, they're not like, how can they give a shit?
Do you know what, man? What I can take from what you've just said in this conversation, I think like it's more that I want to be clear about what my views are, and be more strict about standing up for them. You know,
Absolutely,
I know it's quite hard. Like, you know, life gets heavy and shit goes down, man, and whatever. But working out what your beliefs are and then standing for them, because there's no better time than now to start, you know, standing up for your fucking
You just
rights.
choose one thing, learn about it, and be effective with it.
Yeah.
Okay, now on the voting thing, I'll try to keep quick, because I know like some people might be bored as fuck about this. But on the voting thing, I would just say in Finland, I'm ignorant. I don't know enough. Like I say, I couldn't name a politician. I couldn't even have told you whether there was a prime minister or a president or both.
He came in the bar that I worked in recently, or the bar that we worked in.
That's true. Yeah, president,
that
right?
was funny,
He's a
man.
pretty chill dude. But and so what was happening to me, and I was hearing things because it was around about when Trump got elected. Cheers, bro. People were saying like, oh, the only reason he got to be president and stuff is because there's a whole lot of ignorant voters, and he goes out and he speaks. People kind of just believe in him because he sounds like he's telling the truth, or that he's telling things straight, and then they go and vote. So their argument was that ignorant people actually voted this time, and that's why Trump got in power.
Yeah.
Then I've got a liberal or left-wing person sitting in front of me who is automatically assuming I'm left-leaning.
Not me, by the way.
Not Matthew. But a lot of people were saying, why don't you vote? Why don't you vote? And I would tell them upright, I'm like, look, I couldn't name a single politician, let alone name what they're standing for. And they were saying, but you need to vote, you need to go and vote.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you don't get an opinion and stuff. And I was like, do you get what's happening here? You're saying that like this person who you disagree with, Donald Trump, became president.
Yeah.
Because ignorant people voted.
Yeah.
And you're now telling an ignorant person who openly admits they're ignorant, and they don't know anything, to go and vote. That was my big problem with it.
But I think, like, let's end that conversation now, but maybe me and you should, like, together, because we're both ignorant people, but maybe we should make an effort this time round to try and understand and try and know what these people are doing.
Yeah.
Like, not to get involved in politics, but it would be because we have the right
learn
to
to
vote.
people.
So why don't we let's talk to people, find out names, find out what they're standing for, and try and work out. That would be interesting for both of us.
Let's learn about one left,
One left
and one righty, and then go about it. We'll both
and
vote
vote
this year.
Greenpeace.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways,
Hey, I was going to say, I don't know if you're doing the same, but I was going to say, there was one question left on the YouTube. Is that what you were going for?
Yeah. I wanted to bring that up, and I think it's a great
There was one question left, which is really cool. I still don't know what this is. I didn't see it. But
Yeah, so Matthew doesn't know what this is, but I've already read this. And it actually comes in from Ricky Russell on YouTube, who was actually...
What's up, Ricky Russell, dude?
Shout out to Ricky
What's
Russell,
up, baby?
who was actually my little brother.
Okay. What's up, little baby brother?
And he's going to be here fucking on Thursday, man. 4 days from now, my little brother's going to land
Let's
in
get
Finland.
him on the podcast, man.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I've already shouted him and said, like, would you be interested
You're
in this
on
king?
the next one, bro.
So, yeah, so for anybody who's interested, if you leave questions for us, we'll get to them in the next episode. And I think this is a good question.
Please do it,
so-
man. Come up
Please
with
do
the
it.
craziest stuff because you know right now we're just you know we're just venting, man. We're just saying what we've got to say. You know, over time you get bored of listening to the crap that we've got to say, man. So like, ask us questions, whether it's about living in Finland or music or you know like. What's the weather like in fucking Pakistan? Whatever. It doesn't matter. As wild and as crazy as you feel, but the more questions, the better, because it just gives us, you know, it just makes this flow a wee bit more interesting.
Yeah, and there's a connect with the people you're listening to.
Yeah, of course, and it's so nice when someone leaves a message, man, because you're like, cool, someone's listening. For
Let's
real.
do it. All right, so Ricky asked that he just turned 27 and he lives in China. He said there's a lot of pressure on people here to act on things before that they're 30, you know, like a marriage, a house and car, etc. That sort of normal stuff, with in quotes or parentheses, the normal.
Yeah.
I don't feel that pressure yet at all. I was wondering if you guys getting into your 30s felt any type of rush or urge to get your shit together fast. And I'll
question.
Yeah, man. I'll throw that to you. You said you're 33 now. I knew you were like,
yeah.
So.
And I have a family, man. Well, I have a
You
daughter.
do? Yeah.
Recently broke up with my long-term partner, but we're still like on really, really good terms. Love you now. Yeah, that is interesting because I don't know what it's like. I guess I don't feel the social pressures, which I could only imagine what it's like in China. You know, if you've got a Chinese girlfriend and her family are feeling that kind of social vibe going on, it must be quite weird for you being from, you know, like, well, from New Zealand in this case. Yeah, I did feel that. Actually, I felt a lot. You know, I don't know if we mentioned this before, but after managing the bar for like 5.5 years, I quit in January, and I took 3 or 4 months out of doing nothing, and that was definitely to do with that kind of vibe. You know, I was thinking, okay, I'm 32. Where am I at, man? I ain't got no money. I'm working in a bar. You know, like I have a daughter. Like, is this like? Am I going to be able to provide for my daughter? I have no, you know, savings for her. You know, what if something happens? Am I going to be working Saturday nights for the rest of my life? All this shit, you know. That all went through my mind, and that's kind of why I made that decision to leave. And then I ended up back at the bar for a while, and now I've just moved on to a new job. But what I did realise from that time away was I'm okay with where I'm at, man. It's not. What I realised the most was, you know, you're not a barman. It's, you know, do you enjoy going to work every day? Yes. Are you okay with the money they pay you? Yes. Can you pay for everything you need? Does your daughter have everything she needs? Yes. Are you a bit reckless for your money? Definitely. You know, but there's enough money there to change, you know. And I went through that big time. When I left, and that was a turning point. But I'm so glad now that I'm at ease. I know that I'm pretty good at what I do, and I enjoy it. And I think, like, to be honest, man, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I'm sure it's like, I mean, it'd be interesting to hear your answer to this because you've kind of like moved in. You know, you worked in the bar with me, and you've moved into like your creative kind of side, which is freelance, so it's always a bit shaky, but at the same time you're doing something that you're very, very passionate about, you know? So that's an interesting thing to hear from you. But yeah, I mean, I think that is something like these social pressures and stuff like that, just in general. You do feel that you do have these like you know, middle-aged fucking, you know, ideas in your head of where you thought you were going to be. And let's face it, when you were 13 you thought 20 was old. When you were 20 you thought 30 was old. When you were 30 you thought 33 was old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's all the same shit, and you're all the same person, and you still have the same opportunities to change. You know what I mean? But I think when you get to 33, for me, it's more about being at peace than it is about like chasing your dreams, you know. I think you should never give up on your dreams, but you should not hate your situation and try and get the best out of where you're at. You know, in fact, I think you were there, Adam, the other day when someone was like, we were having a conversation outside the bar. We were just having a wee coffee and a smoke, and one of our mutual friends, she said, like, you know, you can go to school and all that, and it's really easy. You can get to school, and because she's studying now, and she was asking me about, like, would I want to go and study and stuff, but like we hadn't met each other for a long time, and I'm sure that when she met me the last time, I was probably like bitching and moaning about what I was doing, and I was in a bit of a dark situation personally. But she said that to me, like, you know, you can go and study and stuff, and I did look into that, and at one point I was really interested in going to learn something new, but I didn't know what it was I wanted to learn, and it isn't that easy. It is, I mean, everything is possible, and you can do that shit, but it's not like, you know, what my answer was like, look, I don't have any qualifications in anything, and there's 25 places on this course, and there's 270 people applying for that course, in English course. It was a business or entrepreneurship or something, and I was like, you know what, like, I have enough life experience, and I'm good at what I've done, and everything that I have that I've learned up to this point, you know, says a lot and means a lot and is a lot. You know, my expertise is in restaurants and bars, and I'm good at that shit, man. You know?
Yeah, really.
And I accepted it, and now that I've accepted it, I feel so much more, you know, I'm not chasing it, I want to have my own restaurant shit, because that will come naturally now. I used to think that, you know, because that's the natural thought progression for people who work in restaurants or in this trade. You know, they're always thinking, okay, I want to have my own restaurant, and I did that for a long time, but I never planned towards it. I never had a clear concept of what I wanted to do. I didn't see where I was going to go to make that happen. You know, it was just that, you know, it just seemed like that was the next thing. But now that I'm okay with where I'm at, sorry if I'm going round in circles.
No.
But, yeah, now I'm 33, I have a daughter, you know, in my world. And I think understanding and accepting where you're at is an important thing, you know, and definitely don't feel forced into anything, you know, because the minute you do something because someone else kind of makes it out as if that's the right thing to do, then you're not being true to yourself at all, man. You might think it's the way to make money or progress your career and stuff like that, and in some cases I'm sure that is the case, but really the most rewarding and the most, in my eyes, the most rewarding thing and the only peace that you can have when you fucking die, man, we all die, bro, is that you done what you done and you were okay with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.
And so that's my view on that, Ricky Ticky, but looking
Respect,
forward to
man.
seeing you, man. What about you
Yeah.
though? Yeah, because Adam's, you know, like, as I said, you're a freelancer, man, so that was deep shit.
Yeah.
Good question, that's why.
Good answers, man.
But yeah, how do you feel like on a freelance level and stuff like that? Because it's completely different, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't think about it so much on the work level. I mean, I do a little bit. Like, I mean, I've just had. So yeah, for those who kind of, well, as a reminder, yeah, I'm about to turn 30, like literally in a couple of weeks. So, I'm close, and I definitely have gone through that pressure before. I think the way that I viewed it when I was 20 was a lot different, like naturally. But I also sort of thought that maybe I would have everything sorted by the time I was 30. Which I don't now that I'm 30, I'm like, what is everything sorted? Like, I don't even really know what that means. And I think even at that point as well, like, I wasn't, you know, the car and the house and the family and those kind of traditional things weren't really, they're not what I would consider sorted anyways. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I wasn't really sure what that really meant, even though I was putting a lot of pressure on myself for it. I think the two big things for me, or at least, yeah, one big thing, was that I was just doing something that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
That I was, like, passionate about. And well, I guess the second one is probably, yeah, just being, like, happy with who I am.
Yeah.
And, yeah, just, I guess, like, health and like, having some sort of structure was concern. I really felt like the last year was one of the better years of my life so far. Like I really got to do what I wanted to do in the past year. Had a super exciting year. You know, and I have a girlfriend that I'm super like stoked to have right now, and I got good friends, and my health is pretty good, and you know, all these kind of things, like going into my 30s that
you're in control of where you're at, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I feel good about them, and I feel like I haven't got problems that are kind of everybody's got problems, but I think there's a difference between those problems which are like out of your control and then in control. And I feel like the ones that could in some way be in my control are in my control.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have these problems where I'm like, oh, like they're a problem for me, but I'm the one kind of continuing them or dragging them out. So in that sense, I think it just takes a bit of responsibility and to call yourself on things that you're not happy with and go about sorting them out. You know, I went ahead and did things like, you know, opening up conversations with people that I felt, you know, like maybe we had a relationship which didn't end too well or whatever, or just wasn't that good. And man, I spent the last couple of years calling people or emailing people and just saying like, hey, look, like this is the way it is. We're young, stupid, things were said. Like, yeah. So like I physically have gone out of the way to really do things to make myself hopefully a better person, you know, like even if it's just exercising or reading self-help books or still a cunt. Some things will never change, man, but
I think it's like, sorry to come in there, but like I also think it's quite interesting. That question is so interesting because our generation, you know, saying, you know, like coming up to 30, like Ricky was saying there, so he lived in the same generation. Well, we all kind of live in the same generation, but so much has happened there in that time. I mean, you know, going back to like, you know, parents used to get married and it was like the thing, you had to stay together and all that shit. We seen that. We were part of that at the start, you know what I mean, man? Like parents, people were having kids when they were fucking 17, 18, 19 or something then. Now it's like you have a kid when you're 30, you know? So, I mean, that's happened in the last 30 years. So it's going to be interesting to see how it happens because we're all getting so much liberal and we're not living by these old school rules anymore. Yeah. So I think that's an interesting point of that as well. You know, back then you would get a job, you would do the job, that was your career, and you would get a wife, you kept her forever, or you would get a husband, you would keep him forever. You know, you'd have the kids, and that was a gig, you know? Yeah. But we've lived through such a crazy computer age, internet and all these things. Like everything has just went fucking mental. Yeah, that's true. You know? Like it's been like light speed fast forward that we went through in this 30 years, and I'm sure that it will continue, but it won't be such a shock to the system because we went through the actual fucking cave age to the fucking new age. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, that's the true. First computer Atari things and stuff like that. Remember the wee block thing? Yeah. And Commodore 64s and all this stuff. We went through it like a really fast age, and I'm sure it won't stop. Like, I'm 100% sure that it won't stop. Yeah. But I think comparing to what we had from the start to what we have now, we saw a big switch. We've seen a massive switch. Yeah. I mean, just one thing, internet. Yeah. Okay. Massive. We lived on the side when there was no internet, and we lived on the side now where there is internet. We lived on the side when there was no mobile phones, and we live on the side where the mobile phones. So, I mean, you could put a fucking chip in my ear, bro, and I can just like blink and answer the phone. That's cool, but at the same time, you still have it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You still have the phone and still walk about. You know, we went from old school time to new school time. So yeah, I think that's traditions and stuff like that. That's kind of ties in a wee bit like that. You know? Absolutely. There is traditions, but we're all moving forward, and I think the most important thing when it comes to that is don't feel social pressure, man. Make your own choices. But also appreciate traditions in that way as well, and understand. But interesting. Good question.
And also, I just want to add to that as well. I think like now that I'm 30, I do look at things a lot sort of different, and if it can offer like anybody perspective to either you, Ricky, or like to anybody else who's listening, I now look at this like I think your 20s are for figuring out who the fuck you are. Like a lot of the time you spend maybe in and out of relationships, so you're kind of like you're half attached to somebody else. You're still maybe just coming out of home or in institutions like schools where you're getting taught, you know, certain rules or certain ways to be. And then, you know, I think, you know, your 20s is where you should sort of figure out who you are, do all the crazy shit, fucking, get in and out of relationships.
Get any hip hop,
dude.
wear velour tracksuits,
Figure all that out.
leather jackets, do the drugs, do your shit, man.
Yeah. Then what I would say by
Find your
30,
group, man.
what I would say by 30, and don't take this as gospel either, but like, I would say like hopefully by roughly that time, and if it's not the case, then fucking whatever, do it at your own pace. But I would, you know, like what I've kind of looked at it as like, in the past few years, I've really just saw it as like, these are the last few years of my 20s. Figure out who you are. Spend your 30s defining them and refining them. So it's like everything that you know that you want to be and all that kind of stuff. And obviously don't set yourself in a mold, but really shine those things. Figure out what you don't care about equally as much as what you care about. Polish those. And then by the time that you're 40, you'll be a fucking beast. You'll know exactly what you do and don't like.
And you'll get positives from everything you do, man. You know what I mean? And you'll be sure of yourself.
Absolutely, man.
Life is a complicated thing, man, and it's very short too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think everyone's becoming a bit more aware of it, and then again, it's getting harder and harder for different reasons.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, no, don't
stay true to yourself, man.
Yeah.
Don't jump into anything and don't let anyone else make a decision, man. Because
Absolutely.
you know, I will guarantee you, if someone else makes a decision for you, you'll feel stuck. If you walk away from something that you feel bad about because someone was making that decision, a couple of months down the line, you're going to go, "Thank God, I fucking done that shit."
And if I know my little brother well enough, he'll be doing exactly that, man. Like, playing by his own rules.
Well, we're gonna have little Ricky hopefully here, man.
Absolutely.
I'm
and my
excited.
older brother too, Jay, is going to be here, and I think it could make for an interesting episode. So
yeah, I'm so stoked. I've met Ricky before, but I haven't met Jay.
Yeah.
I haven't met Jay yet. I know he's the older one, so well, hopefully he's not a cunt like you are, bro. But
well, the trio's coming in, man. But hey, on that note, I think
Max, mate. Trip Max.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, I think that was a pretty fucking good show,
that was
man.
cool, man. It was quite deep.
Yeah, it's good.
But nice. And again, hey, thank you so much for everyone that listened to the last one and the positive vibe
Yeah.
that everyone was giving and all the feedback. Hey, you know, like, you don't have to message me privately or Adam, you know, hit us up on YouTube and, you know, it's more beneficial for us just to see it on there and to see that you guys are properly listening from start to finish. You know, last one was really rough, and we were really surprised at how well it was done. This one, you know, there's been no plan to it at all, but it's been a lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
And a bit more easier going for us guys, just because we're into it. But you know, like, our bullshit runs out at some point as well, so please ask some interesting questions.
Yeah.
Please.
That'd be cool to have that interaction.
Test us.
And I'll second that. I'll second that appreciation. The feedback's been awesome, and I just look forward to, man. Like we're still learning a lot, and we're hopefully going to get better at this. And well, we will. It's easy, I think.
Yeah.
We can reflect on everything and just go on to the next episode and get better and better. So hopefully, better shows in the future, and it's good. It's just fucking fun, man.
It's
so
fun,
I
man.
hope you guys are enjoying listening, and I guess we'll catch you guys on the next
man.
episode.
Yeah, the New Testament, Adam and Matthew doing our shit.
That's us.
What's up, baby?
You guys have an awesome week, and we'll catch you up on the next episode.
Next episode.
Take it easy, guys.
Right.
Peace.